really stood out, and talking about batting, what stood out was that extraordinary innings by Vaibhav Suryavanchi for the Rajasthan Royals. He hit his second ball, which was from Matt Henry, an international class bowler, hit his second ball over wide long on for six. Incredible shot, not that short. Just sort of saw it, very high back lift, through the line, wrists and hands and everything, fantastic ambition, ability. And then there was another shot he played later in that innings. I say later, he only faced about 17 balls in all. But about the sixth ball was a slower ball from Henry, outside off, bit short, and he managed to kind of carve it over cover. And Dale Steyn was on commentary, and he said, I don't know how he got the distance, the pace on the shot to get it over cover for six.
That's a cracking shot. There's a fielder there, but it doesn't matter. We're talking about fearlessness here. I think that.
Wow, this is just an incredible cricket shot. It is a slower ball from Matt Henry. He's just rolled his wrists on it a little bit. He's got a deep point out, but the ability to create so much power off a slow ball, especially over points. What a shot, seriously.
You mentioned a while ago, wristy. It wasn't very high though, the bounce.
It was just an extraordinary shot because there was no pace on the ball to work with. If you get a really quick ball and you play a sort of slice or an uppercut or something left-handed, you probably can get it for six. But there was no, it was a slower ball from Henry with a bit of spin, and he managed to slice it over cover with amazing hand speed and coordination. And then, soon after that, he bunted a couple of straight sixes and he had a 50 off 16 balls.
Last year,
Little flick of the wrist. Oh, now it's a 15-ball 50. This is insane. Talk about Mad Monday and the strike rate. It's all the threes, if you please.
Amazing.
Yeah, good luck for some of the bowlers in the next few years. Sachin obviously started young as well. He's started even younger. Obviously, if he continues that trajectory, goodness knows what you're going to have in 10 years' time. Yeah, it's pretty good at the moment. I suppose it's about keeping it going, isn't it? You do see sometimes teenage prodigies drop off for whatever reason it might be, but if you can keep that level up over a concerted period of time, you're going to have a fabulous player. I suppose one thing I would say about his innings yesterday is about the pressure of the situation. Was there that much pressure? They're really chasing 120, so there's not quite that pressure intensity. And as a fielding side, you're going out there. Are you thinking we can defend 120? Well, you don't defend it very often, do you? So there's that aspect to it, and what you want to see is in on other days tested by higher scores and big pressure matches. Okay, it was a first game for his team in the IPL this year, so in that sense it was a pressure game, but it wasn't a huge chase. So you've got a bit of license, haven't you? And if you get out, does it really matter? Because you're only chasing that 120, but absolutely fabulous. There've been some fine innings so far, as you'd expect. In T20, Cooper Conley, I mentioned, I thought was so assured. I saw him come in 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago, and win the Big Bash final for the Perth Scorchers, making 25 off 11 balls. And he had a mullet, and I thought, who's this lad? But I saw yesterday a real presence at the crease. So he's someone that Deep actually picked out in our preview, didn't he, of the IPL? He said, I think Cooper Conley's a good signing. Also, we'll watch his progress. Kohli, of course, half century in his opening game.
Yeah,
69 not out. Controlled innings, a little bit more attacking. Ishan Kishan making 80. The Mumbai Indians, that partnership between the two R's. Talk about the double R's for Rajasthan Royals, but Rickleton and Rohit for Mumbai Indians. 48 for the first wicket inside about 12 overs in that run fest. Look, the two grounds in which those games were played, they are the grounds you'd expect big scores. Mumbai and Bengaluru, we've seen it in the past. We saw it in the T20 World Cup at Mumbai. Bengaluru is a high-scoring ground. It's a punishing stadium that for bowlers. So it's no surprise that they were high scores. And actually, the last few days they've come down a bit, haven't they? Different venues. This pitch today not so good. Bit there for the bowlers. And of course, that game in Guwahati the other day, where the Rajasthan Royals only chasing 120. So the bowlers have had a little bit more, held a bit more sway in the last couple of days.
Yeah, especially if you go a bit north of it in India, you're going to get slightly cooler weather still, aren't you? In sort of Guwahati or somewhere, and you might get a bit of dampness. So there's a bit of rain around that ground. So probably left a bit of moisture in the pitch and a little bit more for the bowlers. Kohli, as you say, undefeated. Saw his team home with 69 not out, and word has it, of course, he's as many people will know, he's moved to London. Part of his life now is spent in London, and I happen to know actually the gym which he attends in West London, and I know someone who works there, and she has told me that Kohli was working his butt off in that gym. Determined to get super fit for this IPL because it's pretty much all he plays now. I mean certainly he's retired from some formats, hasn't he? But he still wants to play in the IPL, and why not? If you can bat like that. But he's got his he's got his eye on that title, kind of retaining the title. RCB, of course, who won it last year for the first time. So don't write them off after one game, obviously, which you wouldn't. But I mean, they've always been sort of almost the bridesmaids of the IPL, haven't they? They've kind of promised so much, but never actually managed to get to get over the line and get the prize. But last year they did it, and it'll make a big difference, I think, to their sort of self-belief as a team. They've relied heavily on batters before, the big names, but perhaps they're coming together as a team a bit more. And now Padikkal, they're sort of 61 off 24, so one of the lesser known names. Devdutt Padikkal getting his runs as well. So, yeah, and Rohit Sharma, another veteran player, if you like, also playing beautifully in that partnership with Ryan Rickleton. So the batters doing well in the first couple of games, the bowlers coming back in the last couple of games. No Dhoni for CSK yet, calf injury, so he's sitting out the first couple of weeks. And CSK looked pretty poor against the Royals, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, not a great display. I mean, they'll need to improve quickly because they finished bottom last year.
Yeah,
so a bit of pressure on them. One of the sort of traditional powerhouses in IPL. Age, I mean, anyone could get an injury, but age perhaps just catching up with MS Dhoni a little bit. Calf injury, they're horrible injuries as well. Calf injury, they take a long time to settle down. So they say a couple of weeks for that, but we'll wait and see on that one. The other thing as well that we talked about bowling, we talked about Hughes slow ball, we talked about some of the batting, some of the fielding. Phil Salt, one of the great catches, I think you'd have to say. It's hard to sort of classify, this is the greatest catch of all time or whatever. What I would say is that it was astounding. Anyone who hasn't seen it, well, go. I alerted you to it, didn't I? So have you seen it? Go and have a look on social media so you can find it. Superman catch, diving away, on the run, one-handed. It just needed perfect timing, perfect eye coordination, great athleticism. His reaction to it as well told you that he realised he had done something absolutely sensational. And he knew it as well. But he dived, caught it, and then kind of like ran in he really was like a kid at Christmas, wasn't he? Doing that in front of that incredible crowd. Absolutely fabulous. We've seen all the teams now in action in this season's IPL. Too early to draw any conclusions, I think, about potential winners. But we've seen some excellent cricket, some poor cricket as well. That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye
And
for now.
thanks very much for your messages as well, and we'll try to answer as many of them as we can. Cheers.